You know, I heard a crazy quote. I wish there was a way to know we were in the good old days before we actually left them. And I heard Eddie Pinero, he was quoting some guy, I don't know. I wish there was a way to know we were in the good old days before we actually left them. Think about that for a minute, right? Think about that. Why is that always the case? You ever notice that, like, it seemed like every time we go to a new chapter in our life, we always looking at the last chapter, marveling at it and thinking it's better than where we are now. Right? You know what I'm talking about? Like, I remember when I first went to the Navy, right? I told my Navy brother Amos, I was like, high school, man, right? I went in when I was 18, so straight out of high school. I was like, man, bro, in high school, man, I had the long hair because I had to cut my hair for the military. I had long hair, man. I remember playing basketball with all of the hoopers. I remember the girls used to be coming up to me telling me, you cute, can I braid your hair, right? And all of this stuff. And I told him, I'm like, man, you know what? I think high school might have been the prime of my life, bro. That might have been the best years of my life. And my bro Amos, he looked at me and he said, bro, if high school is the prime of your life gonna suck. And I was like, you know what? I bust out laughing. Like, as soon as he said that to me, I literally bust out laughing because I'm like, dang, you right, bro. Like, high school from age, what is that, 14 to 18? That's the best year of my life. I still got 6 or 7, God willing, more decades to live. And them little 4 years was the best time of my life, right? So he started to help me get out of that mindset of like, we tend to always look back and we think our brain does two things, right? One or two things about your past. It either look at your past as something that's super traumatic, super negative, and it delete all of the good stuff about it. You just think about that experience, it was terrible, right? Or it does the second thing, which I'm talking about. It delete all of the bad crap that you went through. It remove all of that stuff, and then it just highlight all of the good, pretty stuff, right? Highlight all of the nice stuff. So when you think about it, it's just like, oh, that was an amazing time. But you forgot that in high school when you was playing football, that you and the coach was beefed out. You forgot that in high school you was stressing about your grades just so you could stay on the team, right? You forget that when you're stressing about the grades, you also didn't start because you start getting bad grades. Therefore, you start getting less playing time, right? Like, so we forget all of the bad stuff and we fall into this illusion that those were the good old days. But I'm here to tell you, your life right now, and we all have different things going in our life, right? So I don't want to offend nobody. You could have something going on in your life that was completely out of your control. I'm not talking about that. But most of you that's watching this, you are in the good old days right now. Your life is at its best right now. You just not allowing yourself to see it. You just not allowing yourself to see it. I'm telling you, when you was a kid playing with other kids and all that stuff, I'm not saying certain chapters weren't better than the one you might be going through. Chapters. But I'm talking about overall, your life is probably the best it's ever been. But you don't see it because you stuck on the past. And the reason I'm making this video is because I love the past, y'all. I love traveling back. Look, I play old games. I still got a Nintendo 64. I got people that's older than me. Like, bro, you still playing that old game? Hey, look, I got Nintendo 64. I'm still playing No Mercy. You feel me? I created players. I'm still trying to beat the story mode. You feel me? Like, well, I beat it. I'm trying to beat it in every single way you can beat it, right? So I love nostalgia. I listen to Tupac. He died before I was even born. I was born in 97, right? He passed away in 96. I listen to Tupac music. I listen to Biggie. I listen to a lot of old music and I dabble into the new stuff as well, right? So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with nostalgia, right? Or old school stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Or looking at your past like, ooh, that was amazing, right? I'll take the chapter when I was in the Navy, for example. Yes, there are times where it haunt me and I'll be like, dang, the Navy, them was the good old days. You know what I'm saying? Now it's in reverse, right? The Navy, them was the good old days, man. Then it hit me. I was like, I had to ask myself, like, yeah, but not to be negative, but Don't forget the things that you didn't like about it. Don't forget the reason you left in the first place, right? The amount of freedom that you didn't feel like you had, right? Duty days. Ugh, if you're in the military, you know, I hate duty days. Having to shave your beard, having to keep your hair low, right? It's a lot of restrictions, right? Deployments, being on the ocean for months and months at a time, right? So while it was an amazing experience that I would never trade for anything in the world, it had its good and it had its bad. So, bruh, the good old days is an illusion. I'm sorry. There are days that are amazing back in the past. I'm not saying that, but you're in the good old days right now. And if you're not, you could be going through something. Let's start this journey right now. Let's start working on making the good old days the day. Today, right? Let's make the good old days today. I want it to be where in 10 years down the line, you look back and every dang on chapter was the good old chapter, right? Because you were controlling the things that you can control. I'm like, again, I'm not talking about stuff you can't control, right? What you can't control is your perspective on stuff, your heart, your mind, right? You can control that stuff. You can't control your emotions, right? I once read in The Way of the Superior Man, it was saying our emotions are like the weather. They change every day, bro. One day they up, one day they down. One day it's raining, one day it's sunny. And you don't even know why half the time. It's like, bro, why do I feel like this? Like I didn't even feel like making this video, like to be honest. But my heart and my mind was in my control, in my perspective. So I overrode my emotions and I made this video. So to my people out there, listen, the good old days is now. Let's make the good old days now. Okay? Let's control what we can. Let's use our heart and our mind, right? And not let our emotions dictate us, not let our emotions trick us and make us fall into these illusions. So, watching this video, I appreciate you. Look, like, comment, subscribe. Matter of fact, just comment. Tell me what you think. I want to hear your perspective on this. All right, heroes, I'm out.